All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello to my Facebook group. Hello to my YouTube channel. And for most of you on my YouTube channel, this is your first time ever seeing my face. And I do apologize. I've got a virtual background on, but I don't know if this is going to work or not. But anyway, I'm waiting for people to join. So I'm actually just going to be checking my Facebook whilst I'm on the live here because I have no idea if this is going to work. Okay, it looks like I'm live. Okay. Guys, start leaving your comments. Facebook peeps. Okay. Tamash, welcome, my friend. How you doing? Okay. Guys, Facebook people, it's very important. There is a link that you need to click on. Actually, let me just put the banner on. Okay, so if you see in the banner there, you need to go to that link and authorize your StreamYard. Authorize your Facebook. This is only for Facebook users. It's only people in the Facebook group. YouTube guys, you should be able to see me. Okay, and yeah. So guys, leave your questions. I am going to answer all questions. So this is my first time broadcasting live to my YouTube. Never done this before. I've done lives plenty of times in my Facebook group. So this is a first for me. Rick, happy Friday, Nick. Hey man, thanks for joining. How are you? Happy Friday to you as well. I hope you're having a good time. And yeah, let me know your questions, guys. I am Dan Telford. Are you now? Are you Dan? How do we know? How do we know that you're Dan? Have we got evidence of this? Can we get some proof? Kieran, hello, my friend. How are you? Okay, whoever just messaged me from Facebook, it says Facebook user. You have to go to that link. If you look on the scroll bar in the stream there, please go to that link and authorize it. Otherwise, I'm not going to know who you are. Anyway, guys, so look, start asking your questions. I'm going to start just rambling in the background. And yeah, so it's been a busy one. The channel's been busy, and I want to thank you. Say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the channel recently. And the channel is actually doing better than it's ever done. And yeah, and that's thanks to you guys. So I appreciate you watching me and giving me the opportunity to talk to you, to coach you one-to-one as well. The one-to-one coachings have been really, really busy recently. And yeah, and hopefully we're gonna get this moving forward. So let's talk about breakups. Obviously, they're savagely painful, and most of you here just started to go through a breakup, and yeah, it's really tough. But I want to just let you know how you feel is okay, and just because you're feeling terrible right now and you're at the depths of that horrible feeling does not mean that your ex was some kind of special holier than thou human being that can't be replaced. There's a lot of people out in the world. There's 8 billion people out there, and that means you are very compatible with a lot of those people. Alex, hi Nick, thanks a lot for everything. Thank you. Let me read that again. Hi Nick, thanks a lot for everything that you do. My apologies, sorry, that didn't come up correctly to help us. My pleasure, man. It's my pleasure, honestly. I get a lot of pleasure out of this. Okay, Joyce me, how you doing? Kieran Hammond, okay, looks like I've got a question. Living with my wife who wants a divorce. Been like this for 3 months. Ouch. Well, if you want to expand on that a little bit, buddy, if you want to ask a question, if you need some advice, let me know and we can get into it. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So yeah, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I don't view anybody as special. I'm not special. Nobody's special. We're eating shit and fighting human beings, but we have this thing where we put our exes so high on a pedestal, we make them out to be something better than they actually are. And at the end of the day, they've got their faults just like you. They've got their feelings just like you. They wake up in a bad mood just like you. So when we do that, we can actually make the breakup a lot harder, a lot harder. And it's very tough, guys. And as I've said so many times in my story, it took me 18 months to start feeling okay again. and it was a hard road. I think I could have made that road a little bit shorter if I unfucked myself a little bit, if I accepted my situation a bit easier, and if I realized that no contact was for me, it was never for my ex. But I had it in my head, one more day she'll come back, one more day, just one more day, no contact, and she'll come back. So it was always that was always in my head for about just over a year. And I'm thinking, okay, if I would have listened to some better content on YouTube or read some better books at the time, I may have been a little bit better off. Okay, we got a question from Larry Merchant. Thank you for joining, buddy. Right, okay, my ex says she's only seen 2 months changes in me and maybe in a few months, but I think she's dating. I don't understand her words. Okay, let me reread that. My ex says she's only seen 2 months of changes in me and maybe in a few months, but I think she's already dating. Okay, buddy. That would suggest to me that at the moment, you're not a priority on her list. And I tell everybody, look, if you're not number one on that list, don't be on the list at all. Do not be on that list. So the thing is here, Larry, we have to, and we all struggle with this. I've certainly struggled with this. It has been a tough thing, for me to learn. We have to accept the radical truth of the situation. Her actions are telling you everything. So the words don't mean anything. Okay, her actions are telling you everything. And the actions right now are she is not with you. She has exited the relationship with you. And that's a savage pain. So it's not okay for someone to breadcrumb you like that. That's not okay at all. Because that leaves you with false hope. And I don't like hope, but especially in the context of a breakup. I think hope is a very, very human, man-made, person-made, human-made, whatever you want to call it, concept, where we like to convince ourselves of a different reality of what actually is. We already know the answer. And for me, what really hope is that we know the answer. We just don't like it. So we try to convince ourselves that there's going to be a different outcome. And hey, look, she may come back. But if she's already dating my friend, I would highly question your motives and really think about, okay, do I want to take an ex back that's already dating someone? Because if she does come back to you, then you're the backup of the backup option, and that's quite far down on the list. And I have a very strict rule of, if I'm not number one on that list, I'm not on that list at all. I'm not playing that game. So look, it's less about our words and more about our actions. So think about that. And if you've got another question, let me know. All right, guys, let me just scroll up. The questions are coming in thick and fast. Okay. Okay, all right. So guys, so look, those of you on Facebook, I don't know if you're going to see the comments from the YouTube. I'm broadcasting to both platforms at the same time. So I don't know if the questions from YouTube will be viewable in my Facebook group and vice versa. I'm not too sure. So yeah, bear with me. Like, it's the first time I'm using StreamYard, so I have no idea what I'm doing, which pretty much sums up my entire YouTube career at the moment. Okay. All right, Claude, welcome. My question is, she doesn't believe in long distance relationships. Let me just, okay. So Claude, my question is that she doesn't believe in long distance relationships. We decide, okay, I think to finish it, does it still have a chance? All right, okay. Okay, I think, buddy, long distance relationships are tricky at the best of times. And I think what we really have to do, we have to ask ourselves, does long distance actually fit our criteria for a relationship? Now, I promised myself I would never do long distance, and I ended up doing long distance back in 2022, and never again, never ever again. And when I say long distance, I'm talking long, I mean, like right out there. And that can even with good relationships, that can add just an additional layer of difficulty that doesn't need to be there, because relationships take constant work. Okay, relationships are easy if regular maintenance is performed on them, and you've got two people with a growth mindset and not a static mindset, not a fixed mindset. And that can be the problem. But with long distance, my friend, if she doesn't believe in long distance, then that means her values, her idea, her metrics of a relationship are not aligned with yours. So as savage as that is, man, and I know you probably don't want to hear that right now, but again, as I said earlier, we have to accept the radical truth of the situation, and it's really, really hard. But that can be your closure. The closure is she's saying, hey, look, I don't believe in long distance relationships. And it would be the same. Let's say you were dating a woman and you are religious and she's not, and you're saying, oh, look, I don't believe in sex before marriage. And she's saying, well, I want to have sex before we have marriage because I want to see if we're compatible in that area. You're not compatible. And I'll get onto that. If the opportunity presents itself, I'll get onto the importance of compatibility in a bit. Okay. Rick, I'm 56 years old. Dated the love of my life for 3 years. Let me put this on the screen. Okay. I'm 56 years old, dated the love of my life for 3 years. She broke up with me via text in October, said she wasn't going to respond to any calls or texts. I've been in no contact with her ever since. Okay. Your next message. She's in a very low hanging fruit rebound relationship. At some point, is it okay to reach out, check in for my sake so that I can either get, sorry, the comments just jumped. At some point, to reach out, check in for my sake so that I can either get a response or move forward or just stay in. I think you have your answer. Okay, if she's in as you say, a low hanging fruit rebound, and I've said that many times myself about low hanging fruit, you have your answer. I think you'd have to question your intention behind why you wanted to reach out. Now, I think a lot of people would say, oh yeah, I want to reach out just to check on them. And really what that means is, well, I want to reach out to see if there's still a chance. So I think if you really sat down and questioned your intention behind that, you might come to the conclusion that you've got ulterior motives. If she's in a rebound, man, you have to ask yourself, okay, why would you want to give someone like that your attention? Okay. You've got all the closure that you need to move forward. She's with someone else, and that is savage, man. Look, I've totally been there, and look, I've had women rebound on me, and I've been the rebounder. I've been the dumper and rebounded. I've been the dumpy and rebounded, and I can tell you from my personal experience, it never felt good. It's a temporary emotional painkiller, but you can't form that connection with someone in a rebound that quick, especially if you've had. So you said 3 years. You're not going to reestablish that connection in a few months. Connection takes time. Connection takes, friction. We need to go through a lot of tough times to have friction, hard conversations, all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting. So I would say let's stay no contact. Oh, sorry, Tomash, we can't see comments, Nick. Do you want to stick them on the screen? Yeah, I'll stick them on the screen, buddy. I'm assuming you can't see the comments from YouTube. But yeah, I will stick everything up on this. I'll stick everything on the screen. But because look, so basically what it is, guys, I've got like a group chat here. So all the comments from Facebook and all the comments from YouTube are feeding into one feed for me. So I don't think you can see each other's comments. So yeah, I'll put them all on the screen so everyone can see. Rick, I hope that answered your question, but yeah, I would just stay no contact. Okay, Aaron Mitchell 2.0. What happened to 1.0, man? Where did he go? Okay. I'm on no contact, and after 14 days, my ex contacted me to ask me if it was a coincidence that she saw me on the freeway. She sped up next to me to see if it was me. I didn't respond. Your thoughts? Okay. Now, I've never driven I'm assuming because you said freeway that you're in America somewhere. I've never driven there, but we have our own version of the freeway called the motorway, and you drive at like 70, 80 miles an hour. So that's quite fast. So I don't think I personally would have time to actually look over and say, oh, look, there's my ex-girlfriend. It's possible. Yes. Is it possible? Absolutely. Unlikely. So it could be what is known as the indirect direct approach, where, people will say, oh, how's the dog, or how's the cat, or did you see that show on Netflix that we both used to watch, just to initiate. I mean, look, how would I deal with that in that situation? I think for me personally, look, it depends what you want, Aaron. If you are looking for a reconciliation, then responding to a reach out like that could be the opening that you need. Now, I'm not saying that she wants to come back, and I'm not saying that is the case. But if I was in your position and I'm thinking, okay, I do want to reconcile with this woman, then I would be looking at it from this point of view. Okay, I'm going to respond to her level. That's what I'm going to respond to. And so I would say something along the lines, hey, no, I wasn't on the freeway at that time, or I was, so maybe, haha, what a coincidence. And I would just turn it into something a little bit playful, and but I wouldn't talk about the relationship. I wouldn't talk about the breakup. You can be polite. Hey, nice to hear from you. No, that wasn't me on the freeway. What's been happening in your hand? That's it, man. If she doesn't reach out, she doesn't reach out. Don't chase it. So yeah, but let me know what you think. Okay, Eric, coach, my ex is on a rebound with a family friend now for 3.5 months, and they only see each other on weekends because she travels for work. Is that relationship more doomed than a normal rebound? Well, that would. I think most rebounds are doomed anyway. They very rarely succeed, but the frequency at which they see each other at this point is probably irrelevant. I mean, look, I've been with my girlfriend 7 months, and we see each other mainly on the weekends. One, because I work some ridiculous hours, and she works a lot of hours as well. We try and see each other at least once in the week, and we try to spend some time on the weekend with each other. But like this weekend, I'm not seeing her because I've got a family wedding to go to tomorrow, and I've got to try and catch up with my friends, and I've got things to do. So she's doing her thing this weekend. So I don't think that would add to it. If it was like, oh, okay, they're only seeing each other once a month, then maybe. But I think what can happen here, Eric, we start missing the forest for the trees, where we start hyper focusing on that one little thing that will give us that sense of hope. But yeah, so I wouldn't really pay any attention to that, my friend. Okay, Claude. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it so much. No, my pleasure. Thank you. Okay, Chef. Okay, from my Facebook group. How are you doing? Hi, Nick. Just covered all on my face. Hi, Nick. My ex broke up with me back in August last year when she sent me abusive, racist voice notes on WhatsApp. Wow. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned this in the group the other day. Early hours, and deleted it after once I heard the vile comments. Part of me thinks she was drunk, but even then, does the alcohol make the truth come out? Even though she's moved on with other men, she still has kept my number. Until this day, she still wears a bracelet I made for her with a name engraved in Arabic. Do you think she wears it as a memory? Do you think she wears it as a memory of us? Wow. Well, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear that. I mean, look, I think you're asking the wrong question, because look, I'm in a mixed race relationship myself. Look, my girlfriend's Filipino, okay, and if I said any racial comments to her, she'd dump my ass. And if she said any racial comments to me, I would dump her ass, because that is a fundamental lack of respect. And I tend to think that alcohol is a enhancer of what's already there. Okay, so alcohol is a mood enhancer. So if you're shit, it's going to make you more shit. If you're good, it typically makes you feel more good. But I don't think that's an excuse. I really don't think that's an excuse, because people, if someone's got an alcohol problem and they're still drinking, then that's a big underlying issue. Okay, so no, that's not okay, my friend. And it doesn't matter if she still wears that bracelet. In fact, she can stick it up her fucking ass for all I care. It's no, man. I think, look, you shouldn't have this information about her. Okay, you should not have that information about her. There are boundaries and lines that are non-negotiable. Racism is one of them. Okay, it is non-negotiable. Okay, physical, mental, verbal abuse, it's non-negotiable. Okay, non-negotiable. So just because you're hurting and you have feelings for her doesn't make her special. In fact, she's showing her true colors. And when someone shows you who they truly are, believe them, my friend. She's shown you exactly who she is. Yeah, her actions never ever fail to show what's there, my friend. Okay. Anyway, so I'm sorry that you had to experience a racial slur like that. It's not okay. All right, my friend. It's not okay. So I hope you feel better. Okay. Eric. And the rebound is very low hanging fruit guy. 32, still lives with mum and dad, low paying job, uglier than me, questionable history, little to no education. She is a high value target. Okay, man. Well, according to you, according to your perception of the world, okay, according to your metrics, it doesn't necessarily mean that her metrics align with yours. For her, this could be the hottest guy on the planet. And I'm average looking at best, but I've had women say, "Oh, you're the most handsome man I've ever been with. You're the funniest. You're the most intelligent." I'm not even fucking close. But if when a woman is emotionally attracted to a man, it's different for women. Men are very visual. You know, we okay. Let me put it this way. I'm 40 years old now, so visual for me is less important, rather more like the personality, the nurturing side of things. You know, does this woman match my crazy? Is she on the journey with me? Are we have we got the same values, the same respect, and all that kind of thing? But for women, it's an emotional connection. Now, it could be okay. Let's just play devil's advocate. Okay, let's just say like what you're saying is true. She's rebounding, and this guy is very low hanging fruit. Still, the fact remains she's with him and not you. So it doesn't matter where you view his status in the world or in society. It's irrelevant. The fact is she has made her choice. And we have to be brutally honest about that. And look, man, I've been on the receiving end of this. I have. I mean, look, I was cheated on back in 2014. And that particular woman rebounded to a guy who I considered low hanging fruit. I considered, well, I've got much more going on. But I later found out through friends about 5 years after that, because my attitude is, okay, you wanna go? Right, I'm vanishing. I'm never gonna look at you again. You know, friends of friends told me that she got married to that guy and they've had a kid. So for her, that was the better choice. Doesn't matter what I think. So I know that's brutal, man. But look, I think when someone's rebounding, for me, they're never coming back, because I've got the attitude of, okay, look, I know things are a bit fucked up right now, but you could have chose to work on things with me. You could have stayed on the ship rather than jumping off. You know, I need you to be on here as support, and I will be on it as, so in certain parts of the relationship, I'm going to be the captain here and you're going to be the support, and in certain parts of the other parts of the relationship, you're going to be the captain and I'm going to be the support. So right now we need to support each other. But she's made a decision, man. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you're going through that. Okay, Aaron, she told me it was over and didn't want me to contact her. Okay, man, believe her. Believe her. But look, she has since then, she has reached out to you saying, "Oh, hi, did I see you on the freeway?" So it's okay to respond to that. Whether you want to respond to that or not, that's down to you. Whether you feel that's going to be detrimental to your mental health, and if you feel it's going to be detrimental to your mental health, then don't do it. Okay. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that screen name, so I'm just going to call you Dig. Okay, Dig. going through a breakup now. We have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. She's been extremely cold, and I'm doing my best to not give in. But I did tell her when we broke up that I'm willing to do anything to have my, okay, hold up, to have my family. I'm really depressed. How should I go about things? All right, man. I'm sorry about that. It's always, look, it's always really hard with kids. It's really hard with kids. But I think, man, look, when you say stuff like, I will do anything, that actually devalues you, because you're saying no matter what you do, no matter what you do, I'm going to be here. I will abandon all my boundaries and you can do whatever you want. Now, women do not find that attractive. Okay. And I dare say men won't find that attractive in women either. You've got to have some kind of boundaries. Attractiveness comes from learning how to say no. Okay. Attractiveness comes from an emotional attraction for women is when they're assessing your ability to be a leader in that relationship. They're assessing your ability to hold boundaries with them, because for women, they need to feel safe. They need to feel emotionally safe. So if you're willing to abandon all boundaries for yourself, how is that woman going to feel safe with you? Okay. Now you can say to yourself, okay, look, I'm prepared to do what I must to keep my family together, but there's limits to that, man. If I was to say to you, okay, look, I can get your family back, but your ex is going to have a side man, are you okay with that? I wouldn't be. So you got to have boundaries, man. You have to say, right, okay, I'm prepared to go this far, but then she's got to meet you halfway. So you can't do anything, because if you try and do anything, how far are you willing to go to abandon yourself? And if you abandon yourself, you've got nothing, my friend. She's never going to be attracted to you. So I think the wisest course there is to back off and have some time with yourself. And I'm going to encourage you to read a book or listen to a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. Okay. And that book will explain about holding healthy boundaries for yourself. Okay. So yeah, man, look, if the best way to get someone's attention is to remove yours. Okay. Be the best father you can. Make sure you turn up for your kids. Only discuss your kids. Don't discuss the relationship. Don't discuss anything outside of your daughter and your son. Okay. No, sorry, your 2-year-old and your 4-year-old. You didn't specify if there's a boy or girl. Okay. Hope that helps. Okay. Pammy, the best lesson you taught me was acceptance. Although very difficult, it's liberating. Yeah, it's really hard, and I hear you. When I was going through therapy, and I still do sometimes. I still do top up sessions sometimes. And when I was speaking to my breakup coach, where back in the day, we're going back into like 2021 now. Radical acceptance it's not easy. It really, really isn't easy. And because look, we've got two brains at the end of the day. We've got our feeling brain, our limbic brain, and background's messing up here, and we've got our logical brain, and they clash. Okay, they like okay, and the feeling brain is always in control. It's always driving the car. We like to think we can out logic it, but we can't. And the limbic brain can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So the limbic brain still thinks the relationship exists, and the logical brain's like, look, come on, look, we know this is done. But the limbic brain has been around for millions of years, and it's honed its tools over that time. The logical brain, the neurocortex part of our brain, has only been around for a few 100,000 years. So it's had less time to develop. So that's why. But radical acceptance is liberating. It doesn't stop you from hurting. You can say, right, this still hurts. You can say, look, I still want that person back. You can say, I still love this person. They meant a lot to me, but the situation is the situation. And I get to decide how I respond to that. And that's everybody's superpower. You get to decide. It's you. Every every piece of content that I try to make on YouTube, and what I write in my Facebook group, and now what I'm doing on Spotify with longer form content, my one-to-one coaching sessions with you guys as well, is teaching radical responsibility and radical acceptance. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Okay. Right. Pammy, I hope that helped. Oh, actually, you've got another one. Let's bring up. Okay. Once I finally accepted the breakup, my ex reached out to me. We talk to each other and see each other, but we are not back together. He was much younger than me, and he needed to explore his options. Okay. I mean, how's that working out for you? I'll be interested. I mean, look, this is not a criticism by any means. I'll be interested to know, and I think a lot of people will be interested to know, how do you feel about maintaining a friendship with your ex? Okay. Aaron, so coach, you think I should break my no contact to respond to her? She told me she didn't want to contact. It was over prior to contact me while I was in no contact. Yeah, that's fine, Matt. So look, you're not breaking no contact if she contacted you. You haven't broke no contact. Yeah, she's reached out to you. It really depends on you, my friend. So look, my rule is, you're breaking no contact if you initiate the contact. She's initiated it. So it's okay for you to respond. But that's a personal decision. Whether you think that's gonna mess you up further is only a question that you can answer. If you think it's going to disrupt your peace and your progress, then it's probably not a good idea. If you're okay with just being curious and like, okay, I'm not attached to an outcome, then it will probably be okay. Okay, right. Victoria Payne from my Facebook group. How are you doing, Victoria? I think you're new, so welcome. Hi, Nick. My ex broke up with me a month ago, and I chased him constantly, which I regret now. I am totally new to this and didn't know about no contact. We met up a week ago, and I didn't get the answers I wanted. I have not contacted him since. I still have a lot of belongings here. Do I say anything, or do I just leave it? Is he leaving it here as an excuse to contact me when he calms down? I am struggling so much with not having any contact. I check my phone constantly and want to reach out, but okay, it's not giving me. I'm limited to how much I can see here, Victoria. For some reason, I can't see the entire comment. Could you maybe post the second part of that comment, like the bottom half of it, into another comment for me so I can see it? That'd be great. But anyway, I can answer that for you. Right, okay, guys, I am leaning forward, so I am going to readjust myself and sit back. So bear with me. I'm going to get a nice close-up of my Death Star head. Okay. Right, so all right. So first of all, I'm very, very sorry. I'm very sorry that you're going through that. And yeah, if this is your first time, Victoria, wow, yeah, it's painful. Okay, look, to answer your question, is he keeping stuff there as an excuse? Possibly, possibly not. My rule on that would be, and this is typically what I've done in the past, is just keep it business-like and say, hey, look, you still got some of your stuff here. Are you going to collect it, or would you like me to give it to charity or something like that? And if they haven't come to collect it within, adjust my mic. If they haven't, I'm a very professional YouTuber, as you can see. All right. See, guys, this is why I don't do video, because I'm no good at it. Anyway, I can see the subscribers leaving now. What was I saying? Yeah. So look, if they haven't reached out within 6 months to collect their stuff, then I have a very harsh rule. If you haven't collected it in 6 months, then you do not need it. Okay, you do not need it. End of story. No ifs, no buts. You can reach out and say, hey, look, I'm going to give you 2 weeks to come and get your stuff. Otherwise, I'm gonna get rid of it. So I get look. I get that you're checking your phone every 30 seconds. I've totally been there. It's really, really hard to break that habit. But look, one of the best ways you can break that habit is leave your phone in the furthest reaches of your house where it's hard to get to it. Okay, put barriers in place, and I think that might make it a bit easier for you. Sorry, just this fake background isn't doing me any favors right now. Yeah, I think at the moment, Victoria, you are exactly where you need to be. You're meant to feel shit right now. You are meant to. That's the part of the breakup that you are in. So yeah, it's okay to have your feelings. It's okay to be upset. I would maybe suggest that you journal your thoughts down. Journaling really helps. But if you start doom scrolling through the phone and you're hyper focused on it, put it away somewhere and go for a walk. Yeah, give yourself a little bit of a distraction. Go for a walk without the phone, or another thing you can do is come off social media. Ironically, I'm saying this whilst you're on social media. But one thing I did when I was going through my breakup almost 4 years ago, I came off social media for about 3 months, and it was the best thing I ever did because it cleared my brain. I was able to function a lot better, felt better, and yeah. So I hope that helps. Okay, Aaron, right. But she keeps sending me videos and pics of her dancing. I'm so confused. She says one thing but does another. Okay, man. So look, you've got to have boundaries. You must have boundaries here. All right, I'm gonna go back over it because that wasn't working out. I will just put up with the lower back pain for you guys. Okay. Sorry, again, very professional YouTuber. Anyway, yeah. So you got to have boundaries, man. So look, if she's still doing this, man, look, you've got. This is what I'm going to suggest you do. And strap him because it might be a little bit brutal. I would respond to her like this. Hey, I appreciate all your messages, but this does not work for me. Please only contact me if you want to reconcile. If you don't want to reconcile, I'm not interested in that because I can't be your friend right now because I need to deal with this in my own way. Okay. So you're being polite, you're holding boundaries, and you're making your intentions very clear. If you don't want to back, which might be a possibility, if you don't want to back, just say, look, can you stop texting me? Can you stop doing this? Yeah. You said you did. You said you didn't want me, so you no longer get relationship privileges. Okay. So have a think, man. Okay, right. Hi, Nick. Struggling with sadness, can't seem to shake it. Okay, whoever that is in my Facebook group, look, can you go to the link that is scrolling along the bottom of the page? Okay, so I can see who you are. You have to authorize your profile for StreamYard to recognize it. So go to streamyard.com/Facebook and just authorize your account, and I'll be able to see who you are. But look, with the sadness, yeah, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal and it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel shit. It's okay to say, I still want my ex back. Okay. It's part of being human. And right now, for every day you feel sad is a day that you're healing because your brain's trying to tell you, hey, look, something's not right here. I'm not okay. All right. And it's okay to be sad. It's part of the process, man. Like, I was sad for a long time. I was sad for a very long time. Okay. And then I got angry. And then I got resentful. And then I started blaming my ex in my head for everything. Do you know when you have that imaginary conversation as like you're pretending you'd be having that conversation with them? It's like, well, I think you're a fucking arsehole. Oh, well, all that kind of thing. So you're having that conversation that nobody else knows that you're having. And I certainly went through that many, many times. So yeah. But please try and authorize your profile so I can see who you are. And then you can do another comment. Okay. Teresa, how are you? Hey, Nick. What's your thoughts on ex being friends? I tried to pretend I could be, but couldn't handle it. Got too emotional. How come they seem so happy after the breakup, like nothing happened? Right. So the friend debate is an interesting one. I think, is it possible to be friends with an ex? Yes, but not right now. I'm friends with some of my exes. Actually, I'm only friends with two of my exes. My fingers keep disappearing. No, I'm only friends with two of my exes. Um, And that's because we were great as friends, but terrible as partners. And after a year or two of being away from each other and being okay with seeing other people, it's a case of, look, we had a really good time as friends. We still like get on with each other. We still value each other's company, intelligence, and conversation. But it's only worked out for me twice. Now I don't see these women all the time. Maybe actually I've not seen either of them for about 2 years now. But normally it'd be like, you meet up once or twice a year, grab a coffee, have some lunch, catch up, and go along your merry way. If you're too emotional, then absolutely you're not ready for that. You need to radically cut that off because that's going to really hinder your progress. And look, to answer your last part, how come they seem so happy after the breakup, like nothing happened? Well, that's your perception. Okay, we don't have any evidence of that unless they say, "Oh, I'm super duper happy," and they're doing a song and dance about it. Then no, but I think what we can do sometimes, we can assume that someone is handling something better than they really are. Now, look, I can be stoic as fuck, and but I could be dying on the inside. And the reason I can be that way is because for most of my life, not so much now because I've put things in place to deal with it. I've had chronic anxiety most of my life. Now, what most people never knew about me, it is that I had chronic anxiety, and they didn't know that until I was like early 30s, and I just turned 40. And when I first started telling people, I was like, Nick, we had no idea. You always come off so confident. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't want you to see my vulnerability. I didn't want you to see that darkness in me, that sadness in me. But the crazy thing is, once I started being vulnerable and telling people, hey, look, this is who I really am, my friendships improved, my relationships improved. Yeah. So perception is a weird thing. Yeah. I projected outwards like I'm this strong tough guy, nothing bothers me. That was very far from the truth. Yeah. So your perception could be horribly skewed. But regardless, the situation is you are broken up, and if being friends for you is taken away from your healing, then no, you need to cut him off and just come away. Uh, okay. All right. Dig, thank you. You're welcome. All right. Let's get the next one up. All right. Okay. Not going to pronounce that name. Diane G. Okay. Just going to call you D or Di. Okay. My ex said I won't hear from her for a little while. I asked what's a little while. She said when she stops missing me, I'm confused. Tell her to fuck off. Okay. No, don't tell her that. But what I'm saying, metaphorically, tell her to fuck off. Look, man. Look at that statement. Let's just read that statement back. I asked her, what is a while? And she said, when she stops missing me. So she's basically saying, hey, when I feel okay, when I stop missing you, when I stop feeling weird, I'm going to grace you with my presence. Yeah. Why settle for that? She has demoted you. You've gone from the romantic partner down to a friend and someone that I'll reach out when I feel like it. Yeah. Don't be the go-to person for the person you can't go to, my friend. Okay. Gotta have boundaries with this stuff. So don't let someone breadcrumb you like that. Yeah. If that look, I could say to, and I've certainly been guilty of this, okay, with friends because, and funny enough, I was just having a conversation with my friend group today because neither of us have been great at keeping in contact. I'm just ridiculously busy. They're ridiculously busy. And sometimes life happens. And on my birthday in February, when it was the last time I saw them, it was at my birthday party. He was like, yeah, we're going to meet up in March and we're going to do this and we're going to plan Chris's birthday in June and all that kind of thing. Well, we're at the end of March and we haven't seen each other, So the words don't mean shit. All right. The action means everything. Okay. So I can say, yeah, I'm going to do this thing, but if I don't do it, then I don't do it. Yeah. So fuck her words, man. Yeah. Have boundaries and say, like, I wouldn't even respond to that. And look, don't be the little puppy dog under the table waiting for scraps. Okay. Be the big dog sitting at the table waiting the feast. All right. Don't ever be that person under the table. Yeah. Because all that does, it diminishes you. It diminishes your status. It diminishes your perceived value in their eyes. You want to remain attractive to someone? Have boundaries. Be always prepared to walk away. Yeah. Don't threaten to walk away. You just have to be prepared to walk away. You don't say, right, well, if you do this, I'm gonna walk away. No, if someone fucks you over, you can say, all right, that sucked. I didn't want that. It wasn't my fault, but nonetheless, I have the responsibility to take care of my feelings. Okay, so boundaries, my friend. Okay, Rick, I bought that book recently based on your recommendations. Oh, you're referring to No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's a good read, but also very sobering and really hit me hard and gave me such a needed jolt and wake up. Yeah, man. Look, the first time I read No More Mr. Nice Guy, I was crying, man. I was sobbing. And the reason I was subbing is because, as you say, it's a very sobering read, and I made every mistake in that book. But that book changed my life as well. Well, it was one of the books that changed my life. There's other books like Atomic Habits was a life-changing book. The Obstacle is the Way. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, to name a few. Ego is the Enemy. And yeah, I'm actually going through a few books right now. I just finished Dopamine Nation. That's a really good book, and I'm reading a book called Mindset. So, guys, if you want to get over learn about getting over a breakup. Oh, by the way, guys, my book's nearly ready. My book will be coming out very, very soon. And I've been plugging it a lot in the Facebook group. But for you, my YouTube followers here, my breakup recovery book is coming out very, very soon. We're in the design phase, and we're nearly done. So I'm going to be plugging the shit out of that. And yeah, it would be great if you get yourselves a copy. Um, so yeah. So look, if you want to help get over the breakup, getting educated on, I think for me, philosophy was the one of the biggest ones that helped me, and learning about psychology and learning about radical acceptance of situations. That really helped me a lot because I used to be one of those people. Oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. This person did all this. And that's a victim's mindset. And the problem with a victim's mindset, we never run out of people to blame. Okay, we never run out of people to blame. If you never run out of people to blame, you're never going to move on. Catherine, the man behind the voice. Yes, hello. How are you? I mean, look, this is not the first time that I've put my face on camera. It is for YouTube, but my Facebook group, which has got 25,000 people in it now, they all know what I look like. One, because of my profile picture, and I've been doing weekly live. Well, I've been trying to do weekly lives in there for a while now. But I thought, okay, I'm going to branch out into YouTube now and see how it lands. And I'm glad I can bring this now. Now I've started expanding my business a little bit and bringing in more technology to help me out with it. It's been made possible. So, and look, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. The Pal King. My ex and I were together for 15 years, and even after 8 months of no contact, it still hurts because it's only been 8 months, my friend. Of course, it still fucking hurts. It's meant to hurt. It's 15 years. You're comparing 15 years to 8 months. I've got a longer relationship with the milk in my fridge. Okay, so not really. That was a joke. So, um, look, it's only been 8 months, man. And I think for most people, 8 months is about the peak of the pain. Now, funny enough, I was on a one-to-one client call yesterday evening, and my client said exactly the same thing. He said, look, he went through the pain, then it felt okay for a little bit, and he goes, look, it got to like month 8, and he feels terrible. The same happened to me, and it happens to a lot of my clients. In fact, a lot of my clients reach out, book coaching sessions with me somewhere between the 6 to 12 month breakup period. Okay. It's very rare that I get someone with in the first 3 months, because that first 3 months you're looking about getting your ex back. Then you go into all these ex back channels and you not just realize that bullshit doesn't work. And then you start thinking, okay, right, I need to get me back. I need to start processing my feelings. And that's when people find my channel and hire me for coaching. So 8 months on average seems to be about the peak of the pain for a lot of people. And then, well, the good thing about that is that it can only get better from there. But it's been 15 years, man. That's a big, big chunk of your life, depending on how old you are. If you're 40 years old, for example, that's going to be almost 40% of your life. You know, 40%, 50, almost 50. Actually, yeah, around about 40% of your life. Yeah. Sorry, I'm no good with numbers. So yeah, of course it hurts, and it's okay. It's okay to say I'm hurting. It's okay to say this feels shit. It's okay to say this sucks. It's okay to say I'm fucking angry, and it's okay to say, I would have done this and I would have done that. But it's not okay to stay there for too long. Yeah, you can be the victim for a short amount of time, but if we stay the victim for too long, then all that happens is that we stay in the breakup mode for way too long, and it's not a good place to be, man. It really isn't. So look, write your thoughts down, start journaling, do some exercise, take a cold shower. Okay, trust me, cold showers are fucking amazing. They suck, but you get a natural dopamine high, and it stays at like a steady level for a good portion of the day. I'm not saying your pain goes away, but it does help. Take care of yourself, man. Be kind to yourself. Nick, can you talk about the challenges of dating a severe, fearful, avoidant, and are they worth being in a relationship with? Oh boy, how long? How long have you got? How long have you got, my friend? All right, okay. Let me just adjust this. All right. All right. Okay. Fearful avoidant. Okay, look, I don't want to shit over anybody that's got attachment problems because we all have. I was anxious for a very long time. I consider myself secure with maybe a tiny little bit of avoidance now. It's kind of gone a different way. Um, Look, we all have our own individual traumas, but nonetheless, it is our responsibility to work on it. But it's also your responsibility to choose your partner. So you have to ask yourself, rather than thinking about, okay, should I date a fearful avoidant? I think it's a better question to ask, why am I attracting that? Why am I attracting a fearful avoidant? Because you are a direct reflection of who you attract. You are a direct reflection of, you know what, guys, I think I'm just going to turn this fucking background off. It's pissing me off. Give me a sec. No, there we go. All right, reality. I don't know why. Do you know what? I don't know why I put a fake background on. Wasn't working. Anyway, welcome to my humble abode. All right. So I think, yeah, look, okay. So dating a severe fearful avoidant. You have to ask yourself, okay, why did you choose that person? Look, a fearful avoidant is, when it comes to attachment style, is the worst of two worlds. You've got an anxious person who who can switch to avoidant very, very quickly. So they want the intimacy and they want to be with someone, but it freaks them out. You know. So what about you is attracted to that? What about you? Are they attracted in you? That's the question that you have to ask. So I'm not saying we shouldn't date fearful avoidance. So look, we've all got an attachment style. We all have, based on our traumas from kids and stuff like that. We all have. But I think for me, if that was me and I met a fearful avoidant and we were getting on well, I think what would be the determining factor whether I dated that person or not would be, are you working on your bullshit or are you auditioning me to take care of it for you? That would be my observation about that. And one thing, when you do your own therapy, when you work on your own bullshit, you become hyper aware of everybody else's bullshit. And that can then allow you to be far more effective in your screening process. So are they worth having a relationship with? Well, I mean, look, the human beings at the end of the day. So yes, they deserve that basic respect and they deserve that chance. But I would be asking, are you working on? Because look, I've got my shit to work on. And when I started dating my girlfriend, like almost 8 months ago now, we asked each other some very hard questions. I'm like, okay, convince me not to be single. And I'm like asking myself, okay, outside of sex, what do you bring to the table? Because I've got a good life. Yeah, convince me to give up my single life because I enjoy my single life. I've got a lot going on right now. Um, and she would be asking me questions like, okay, fuckface, how are you going to piss me off? Yeah, what happens in this particular situation? So you've got to have those hard conversations really, really early on as part of the screening process, and then hopefully you can be with someone that matches your crazy, but also look, they're working on themselves. You know, my girlfriend's got stuff to work on, I've got stuff to work on, and as long as we're open and transparent about that, saying, hey, look, this is where things are right now, things are normally okay. I hope that helps. Okay. All right, Teresa. Also, his last message was okay. Going back to, let me just refresh my memory with your last message. Okay, okay, about being friends. Okay, right. Okay. So, also, his last message was I think we need to not have contact for a few months because it's not good for you. What does that mean? Oh, what an entitled prick. I mean, who is it? Who is he to say what's good for you? So, my interpretation of that, Teresa, is that he's picked up a gun, he's loaded it, he's held it to your head, and convinced you it's a good idea that you pull the trigger. That's what's happened there. Okay. I think he's showing you exactly what he's about. Okay, so saying, well, it's not good for you. What he's really saying, it's not good for him right now. What he's really saying is that he doesn't want you to contact. He doesn't want you to contact him because he doesn't want to deal with it. But he's convincing you that it's better that you don't. You know, it's better for you that you don't contact him. And what he's really saying, it's better for him that you don't contact him. You need to fuck this guy off. Okay, fuck him right off. Okay. Lugi, I've never known how to pronounce your name, buddy, and you've been in my Facebook group a while now, so I don't know. Shout out to one of my favorite bald people in the world. Love the stream, Nick. How dare you, sir? This is a disability, all right, and it's offensive to my religion. It's offensive to my people, and I'm now going to close this stream and I'm going to cry. I'm only kidding, man. I'm only kidding. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, you're one of my favorite mutants. I don't know. I'm only joking. No, thank you, man. I appreciate the comment. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Go. Okay. Go. You are in my Facebook group as well as my YouTube. How are you? Right. Please explain about offering to continue as friends with benefits from the ex after being in no contact and how to deal with it. Okay, he wants his cake and well, I'm assuming it's a him. They want their cake and eat it. Okay, so basically, he wants to get all the physical stuff without any of the responsibilities. So let me put this into another way for you. I want to eat chocolate as much as I want, and I don't want the calories because I don't want to get fat. That's what he's saying. Okay, that's it. So he's saying, hey, let's hook up, but once we're done, no strings attached. Now, look, I'm not against that per se. Look, I've done the hookup thing, but not with an ex. Yeah, I've certainly had casual not relationships, but I've had casual flings like that. Absolutely, but no, I wouldn't certainly offer to that to an ex. One, I just think it's horribly disrespectful. And so he's basically saying, "Hey, look, you'll do until something better else comes along. Don't accept that. Boundaries." Okay, Victoria, I won't reach out, but I know it won't be okay. I want to reach out, but I know it won't be helpful. We hurt so much. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's okay to say that you want that. It's okay to say that you want that, Vicky. It really is. But let me put it this way. If if the doctor said right now, okay, you need to stop X, otherwise you're going to die in 6 months, would you do it? Would you continue on, or well, fuck no, I want to live. Okay, so you got to you have to do today what's going to benefit you in 6 months or 12 months. You know, and it's the same with anything. The same with going to the gym. It's the same with nutrition. It's the same with breakups. It's the same with business. You know, I have to look at when I'm trying to build my business. It's like, okay, I'm going to do a thing now that's not, but it might not pay off for 18 months. Okay, so I'm going to invest in a piece of software technology, but I'm not going to see the result in that for 18 months. Like I just started on Instagram, for example. I'm not going to see the benefit of that probably for about a year. Okay, so I've got to slowly build it up. I can't just say, oh well, I've got X amount of followers on YouTube and I've got X amount of followers on Facebook. No, Instagram's a complete new thing, and I've got to put the work in. And the same with a breakup. You have to do today what's going to benefit you tomorrow. Okay, Pammy, it's been great maintaining a friendship. It takes away the curiosity by knowing what he's doing. Not knowing is what drives us crazy. I mean, I definitely think. I mean, each to their own. I think personally, I couldn't really deal with that personally myself, and I think most people wouldn't be able to deal with that. But there's always exceptions to the rule. And Pam, if it's working for you, then it's working for you. Who am I to argue? Um, I think that is a rarity though. So, but more power to you. We are friends with benefits, and it's working for us. Okay, then yeah, I don't think that's the most optimal strategy, but if it's hey, look, if you guys are working it out that way, then okay, great. Joy, my friend and one of my moderators for my group, how you doing? Okay, who are you responding to? He's trying to chase okay, I guess you're responding to one of the Facebook comments. He's trying you to chase him, but he doesn't want you to keep in touch. At the same time, don't fall for that. Go no contact. Remind yourself you're worth. Remind yourself you're worth more than that. Concentrate on your own well-being. So I believe you would have been. I'm not too sure what you're referring to there. All right, never mind. But thanks, Joy. Appreciate it. Okay, I've been in no contact sorry, Teresa, I've been in no contact now for 23 days. I didn't respond to that message. Thanks. Oh, okay, so you and Joy were talking. Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Teresa. Keep up the great work. Okay. Okay. Nick, that's Jay. Oh, Jay. Okay, then he needs to hit that, put that link into his browser so we can authorize it. He can authorize it. But let me scroll back up. Okay, can't get her out of my mind. Okay. All right, so Jay's one of my former clients. How many sessions did we have? We have 2 or 3 sessions? Can't remember now. I think, guys, look, when it comes to, you can see bananas in the background there. So I feel like I'm on display here. I'm not used to like letting people into my personal space like this. I think not that you're not welcome, by the way, guys. You are welcome. Sorry, this is just new for me. Like I said, I don't really show my face, so or my house or whatever. Okay, so can't get her out of your mind. Well, yeah, of course. And I think when we try to look, if I said to you guys, look, don't think about chocolate. Whatever you do not think about chocolate. The first thing you're going to think about is chocolate. Okay, so I think it's better to if that intrusive thought comes into your head, is to acknowledge it. It's like, okay, right, that thought's in my head. Okay, that's interesting. Let me explore it. Let me write it down, and let it pass out. Resistance will create force. So the more you try to resist it, the harder it's going to be. Anyway, just my 2 cents on that. Okay, Dick. My ex told me I won't hear from her for a little while. Oh no, no, I'm going back on old comments. My bad. Or yeah. Okay, Dick. Yeah, I think I've already answered that. Please try not to repeat the messages. I will get to them. There's just the messages are coming in thick and fast, my friend. There's a lot of people in the chat right now. God damn, there's about another 30 comments. So this has been one of the busiest lives I've had in a while. So, Eric, my ex begged me to marry her for 2 years. I bought an engagement ring less than a year ago and was going to give it to her, but she left. Went to rebound, could not help her come back together. Could that help her come back together? Dude, like, I think this is a case of a day late and a dollar short. Okay, so if she was begged you to marry her for 2 years, how much longer were you expecting her to wait? So I think the bigger question here is that why did you wait so long? If you wasn't prepared, look, it's okay. Look, let me be fair here. it's okay if you'd say, hey, look, I want to get married, but it's not the right time right now. Maybe financially, and I think financial reasons are very valid. Like for example, look, I wouldn't get married to a partner or even entertain having a kid if I wasn't financially okay. Can I afford this thing? Okay, are my bills paid? Is my mortgage paid? And do I have a savings account? That would be the first question. And I think people do not value those kind of things. But at the end of the day, man, did you talk about why you didn't propose? Did you have that awkward conversation saying, look, I want to get married to you, but it's not the right time? Okay. If she was begging and begging and begging and you weren't communicating that, then I can't say that I blame her for leaving, if I'm being honest with you, man. Because I'm not saying she should have rebounded. That was the wrong response. I'm not saying that at all. But she would have got to the point, well, we're not compatible. We're not putting in the same direction. So my question to you is, why did you wait so long? Okay, Dig, she wants to see where it goes with someone new. Should I move on? Yes, 1,000 times yes, my friend. She is telling you everything you need to know. Do not be the backup option, my friend. You can't be the backup option, all right? Because if she does come back, she will do it again, and she won't have any respect for you. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, I used to be like that quite a lot, okay? And then when I decided to have enough of that and I became more comfortable in my own skin, life got a little bit easier for me. And the reason it got a little bit easier for me is because I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks about me. Well, tell a lie. I give a fuck about what people close to me think about. But if I walk into a room and let's say it's full of hot women and I'm like, look, I don't care. If you want to talk to me, great. If not, I'm not going to waste my time on you. You got to have that attitude of like, I don't care. I'm going to walk into this room and I'm going to have my chin up. I'm going to have my chest sticking out. Yeah. And I'm not anybody's second choice. Yeah. Don't ever be a second choice. Don't ever be a backup. Okay. Yeah. It's like being an assistant to an assistant. Yeah. It's low, man. Yeah. You've got to have that love for yourself to say, no, I will not be your backup option. Off you fucking fuck. Okay, Eric. And on a phone call, she told me she was happy 3 times without me asking. Seemed like she was trying to convince herself, but some called, but same call told me she missed me. Dude, look, it doesn't matter what she's saying. What are her actions? The actions are she is not with you. Okay, those are the actions. She is not with you anymore. Okay, man. And I know it's hard, but it's done. It's over. That part of your life is over. But here's the secret to that. Her saying no to you means you can say yes to everything else. It means you can say yes to other women. It means you can say yes to better women than her. But you have to be better. You have to level up. If you want to attract better in your life, you have to be better. Okay? You have to be a reflection of what you want to attract. So you have to ask yourself, are you the man for the woman you want to attract? And women, are you the woman for the man you want to attract? If the answer is no, do not get with these people, level up, then get back out there. Okay? If you want good relationships, guess what you have to be? You have to be good. Okay, Clorox. Okay, I could do with some Clorox. I'm actually running low on bleach at the moment. I need some. Would you encourage your clients' viewers to watch self-improvement content like Hamza? I've only seen a little bit of Hamza, and I don't like him. Are we actually, are we talking about the same guy? All right, let me double check. Let's make sure we're on the same page here. All right. Hamza. Oh, that guy. Sorry, I was okay. Talking about someone completely different. To be honest, I'm familiar with him, and from what I've seen, he's put out some good content, but I don't know him. I don't know his content well enough to make any content to make any judgment on that. But from what I've heard, generally, that he puts out safe content. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I can't give you an honest opinion on that. In fact, the people that I trust in the breakup space or the self improvement space, I can count on one hand. Honestly, there's a lot of charlatans out there. But self improvement, look, self improvement is absolutely useless if you don't implement it. Okay. So you can read all the books or consume all the content. If you're not doing it, then it's not going to do anything. But there does come a time where it can become it can become toxic, where it can actually it can start keeping you stuck, and then you're not moving on because that becomes an addiction of itself. Yeah, and that can keep you stuck. So yes, there is a place for self-improvement content. Absolutely. I would consider my channel self-improvement content. I try to focus more, not getting your ex back. I try to focus on more like, look, let's accept the situation, let's practice radical honesty, radical acceptance, and let's get moving forward. So it depends, man, but be careful about what you consume. Okay, Michael. Hi, Nick. I went no contact with my ex and found out they were bad mouthing me on social media 7 months after the breakup. Why would a dumper do this? And is this normal dumper behavior? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know that person. I just don't know that. Look, I think I said earlier in the stream, when someone insists on showing you who they really are, believe them. Okay, so it could be resentment. It could be. Let me put it this way: what we hate about ourselves is what we really hate about somebody else. Okay, it's a projection. Okay, now whether that's true or whether the assessment of you is true or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is, you shouldn't be doing it in a public forum. I mean, that says it all. It's very childish. I wouldn't say it in a public forum. I would just fucking tell someone straight to their face if I don't like them. In fact, look, I've had people from school now. Like, I'll give you an example. School was a rough time for me. Okay, I didn't like school. Really rough time for me. And I've had people from school over the years reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform, friend requesting me, and then I decline it. And they're like, oh, why don't you accept my friend request? So I was like, look, I thought you were a prick in school, and I still think you're a prick now. Why do I want to be friends with you? So at least I'll say it to their face. And I've got more respect for someone that would just come out and say it. Yeah, I don't have respect for someone that would do it clandestinely like that, or just using those kind of tactics. I mean, it's social media at the end of the day. Who gives a fuck? I mean, who cares? Yeah, man. So look, don't look. Lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep, man. Be a lion, don't be a sheep. Okay, Joe. Hey, love your content. Made a big difference to my breakup. Thank you, Joe. Much appreciated. I'm glad I could be of some help. Okay, Clorix, do you suggest reading The Way of the Superior Man by David Dider? I've not read that book, so I can't comment. Okay, Facebook user, can you please go to the link to authorize your Facebook profile so I can see who you are? So look, if you go to streamyard.com//Facebook, press authorize, and I'll be able to see your name. Is my ex ever likely to unblock me? I related a lot to what you said. I think we worked better as friends. I don't know. That's my reading. I don't know. Look, we're so interconnected these days with social media. Back in the day, all you had to do was take your phone off the hook. And I'm showing my age here because I'm 40 years old now. But I remember back in the time before social media, where if someone broke up with you, yeah, the only time you would see them would be like maybe in school or like for a friend of a friend. It was highly unlikely. Now we've got unparalleled access. So look, is it likely they're going to unblock you? I don't know. I don't know. It's look, it's 50-50, man. It's I don't know the situation. I would just go about my days, right? Okay, I'm blocked. That's the radical truth of the situation. Okay, I'm in control of of how I respond to how I feel. I'm only in control of what I can do. So yeah, that's what I think. Okay, Dig, how can I book a session with you? Okay, buddy. Best way to book a session with me on in every video that I do on YouTube, and I say I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna call you guys out a little bit now. Okay. All right. So this is a bit of a bugbear on mine. So on every single video I make, at the start of it, I say, hey, if you want to work with me, the link is in the description below. Okay. I don't know how many of you are paying attention to that, but to answer your question, if you go back to any of my recent videos, in the description at the bottom is a link to my link tree. Now, what my link tree does, it gives you links to all of my social media. There's a link there to my one-to-one coaching services. There's a 60-minute session and there's a 90-minute session. Okay, so choose the one you want. When you open that, a calendar with my availability will pop up. Okay, you select the date, you select the time, you make the payment, and then it will book you in. I'll get a notification of the booking. You'll get a notification of the booking with the Zoom link and all the details of what you need to do. And then whatever the date and time is, I'll be there waiting for you on the phone, and then we'll do the session. So with the breakup session, guys, like I do breakup recovery. I'm not an expert coach. I do not focus on that. So if you want to work with me one to one, it's because you're at you're at a point right now where the free stuff isn't working, and so it's highly individual. And then we really dig deep into the pain, into the heartbreak, and then we map out what we're gonna do. That's what I do. Okay, I help people get through their fucking breakups, not to stay in it, not to get their ex back. If your ex back comes back, if your ex comes back because you healed yourself, that's just a happy byproduct. Either way, you got you back. But what I'll do for you, give me a second. I will post the link. I'll post the link for you now. Okay. All right. Okay. Can I respond to you directly? I don't think I can. All right. Okay. Right at the bottom, I'm going to type one-to-one breakup coaching link. Okay. If you hit that, okay, that will take you to my booking screen, and then you can book it. So guys, yeah, so please pay attention to the videos. And I say, hey, if you want to work with me, the link's in the description below. What tends to happen, people start emailing me, and then I'm going to be real honest, a lot of people ask me for free coaching, but look guys, that's the premium side of my business. I do the YouTube for free, I do these lives for free, I do the Facebook for free, Instagram, Spotify, I do all that for free. Yeah, and that's fine. I'm happy to do it. I love doing this. But if you want one-to-one time, that's my job. Okay, that's how I earn a living. So yeah, so just to like make that clear for everybody. Okay, but thank you. Look, if you want to work with me, I look forward to it. I'm more than happy to talk to any of you. And hey, look, if I think that I can't help you, I will tell you that I can't help you. I'm not just going to take your money. In fact, there's a week ago, I refunded someone's money because 10 minutes into the conversation, I just realized this is way outside the scope of the conversation, and I gave their money back. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it. Clorix, there are links in the description. Thank you, my friend. I'm glad someone's paying attention. Okay. Pop to Depper. Ah, I see what you did there. I see what I do. I respect clever wordplay. Okay. What are your thoughts on situationships? I was in one for a year. We were very close, but we never made it official, mainly because of distance. I ended up seeing her. I ended up seeing her on social media that she was messing around with another guy. A week later, she told me about it. Kept posting him on her stories. Needless to say, that messed me up. It's been 2 months with no contact, and I've been oh next, and I've been very confused about how to feel about everything. Okay, so let's address your first post. What do I think about situationships? I think they're a bad idea generally. I think, look, I wouldn't say I've ever personally been in a situationship. I've had friends with benefits, absolutely. Um, I've had flings, but it's under the understanding that communication is very, very important. We're having that communication at the start. Say, hey, look, this is just sex, or this is just going to be a fling, and when it runs its course, it runs its course. Okay, a situationship. I mean, look, my view on that is you've got two people that are too scared to have hard conversations. Okay, relationships must be built on hard conversations, not chemistry. Not, oh, we had this amazing connection, because I actually made a post on my Facebook group the other, when was it? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It was something along the lines, quote unquote, oh, we had this, it felt amazing. We had this amazing connection. Yeah, but he's got he's got 5 kids by 3 different women. She's rebounded more times than a rebound. You call that a connection? You never had that conversation? No. We have to start things based on compatibility, and chemistry can be the byproduct of that. If you don't start things based on compatibility, it is doomed to fail. Okay, because we're love, like, guys, you've got to get this in your heads, right? And I'm not digging anybody out. It's just something I'm passionate about. Love is a fucking choice. Okay, it is a choice. When that butterfly feeling wears off, and it will wear off for everybody. If you haven't got a solid foundation in place of compatibility, when that wears off, which it typically does between 2 to 4 years, you're fucked. And I mean, you are fucked. And this is why I don't have any shortage of clients right now. Okay. In fact, this is the business I've ever been since I started doing this. And I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, because people are reaching out saying, hey, how do I do this better next time? How do I heal? Okay. And that's where I come in. It's like, okay, look, I get I, I get it's painful. I see the mistake here. This is how we're going to fix it. This is how we're going to change your mindset. This is how we're going to do relationships from now on. This is how we're going to handle the breakup. Okay. So situationships is like, well, I kind of like you, but I don't like you enough to make you my wife. And I kind of like you, but you're not the man that I kind of want. Yeah. But you'll do. That's what a situationship is for me. All right. It's people not just being fucking honest about the situation. Just be honest about it. It will save you a lot of trouble, my friend. As for feeling confused, yeah, man, look. So I dare say, look, you've developed feelings for this person. That's okay. But I think what probably made it harder is now is that you had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Yeah, and yeah, that can mess you up. So I think now's the time to take both feet out, yeah, and say, right, okay, what what did I learn from that? And I'm a firm believer in our exes teach us exactly the lesson we needed to learn. Okay. Now it takes a bit of self-awareness to step back and say, right, okay, what lesson did I need to learn here? Okay, I need to learn. So I'll give you an example of myself. Okay, I need to learn to get my anxiety under control, because it's torpedoing my relationships. Okay, I need to screen better. I need to think about, okay, why am I attracted to this woman? Why does this feel so good? Because when it feels, one thing I've learned, when you meet someone, it's like, oh my god, this is just electric. We've got this amazing connection. It's not connection, it's trauma. Okay, we are attracted to what is familiar. It is trauma. It is not love. Okay, because real genuine love is boring as fuck. All right, it really is. Because you ask any old couple that's been together 30, 40, 50 years, they will tell you, hey, look, the butterflies wore off in like the first 2 years. Yeah. Normal relationships are meant to be like this. You got the occasional high, you got the occasional low. But when you get like this chemical chemistry, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. And you're mistaking highs for happiness. Okay. So think about it. I don't know if I answered your question correctly there. I might have gone way off on a tangent. Do apologize. Okay. Right. Okay. I am Dan. Hi, I am Nick. Hi. I'm only busting your balls, man. Okay, Dan. It took me a few years to get over a 10-year relationship. Wow. I did everything from alcohol, sleeping around, and pretending I was happy, but very little inner work. Okay. I'm just seeing if you've got another. Yeah, man. Look, alcohol is a mood enhancer. That means if you feel shit, it will make you feel more shit. So yeah, inner work. Well, I'm hoping that you're doing the inner work, and sleeping around will do the same thing, because again, it's giving you a quick fix of dopamine. You know, And there's a really good, like I mentioned earlier, I finished a really good book recently called Dopamine Nation, and that goes into about the dopamine pathways and how when a dopamine pathway develops in our brain, and that's what we get with a partner. The more powerful the dopamine pathway, or the bigger the dopamine pathway is, the harder it is to get over. So a dopamine pathway with a sexual partner or a romantic partner is really, really large. So what we're going through is essentially a massive withdrawal from that dopamine delivery system, and that's why it hurts so bad. So yeah, but I hope you're on the right path, man. Clorix, I dated a fearful avoidant. It felt like a roller coaster, and it was if I was walking on eggshells after self-sabotaging the relationship. Yeah, I've been there, my friend, and I would never do it again. So I'm fortunate enough to say that my my girlfriend is relatively secure. You know, she has a few anxious moments, but like we all do, and I have a few avoidant moments. You know, it's just the lay of the land. But when two secure people are dating each other, it's like this is this is like surprisingly normal, and you kind of have to readjust because you're not getting these massive highs anymore. It's like, okay, so this is what healthy looks like. Healthy is actually just, okay, we're good. All right, we're going on a trip. Okay, we've had an argument, but we're good. All right, going on another trip, and we're good, and we've had another argument. So it's kind of like, steady, a high and a low, and then you get back to normal kind of thing. Facebook user just saying hi. Okay, I can't see who you are. Please, people, read the instructions below. Why doesn't nobody listen to me? And I'm back in the room. I'm going to my happy place. By the way, guys, this is normal for me. This is just like a normal day. I speak to myself a lot and I say this shit all the time. Okay, the Queen. Hi, Your Majesty. How are you? Nice to see the face behind the voice. Are you sure? It's fucking mutant right here, but thank you. Mario and Luigi. Okay, does that make you Princess Daisy or Toad or Yoshi? Which one do you want to be, my friend? Okay. Hey, Nick. I've been listening to most of the live today. I have no questions. Just want to say hi. Okay. Hi. I don't know who you are. I hope you're well. Please go to the StreamYard link and um, authorize your account so I can see you are. So look at the bottom here, says streamyard.com/Facebook, and press authorize. Aaron, I just sent my ex a thumbs up to her question. That's all I can muster right now because I felt she was gaslighting. Okay, man, that's totally okay. But I do feel at one point or another you're gonna have to put a lot of boundaries in place for this woman. Okay. All right, dig. Diane, I'm just call you Diane. Need to have a one-to-one session with you. Yeah, look, I posted the link in the chat. If you want to go and hit that, yeah, go and book it in. Mothman, isn't that a comic book? I mean, I'm not into comic books, but I'm sure that's a comic book. But anyway, I respect the moniker. Hey Nick, just popping in to tell you, man, thank you millions for teaching me at such a young age the tools to heal and to grow from the expertise. Take it easy, man. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you, and I'm glad. Look, I'm glad I can be of help. All I'm trying to be for people is a voice in the dark, man, because that's what I needed when I was going through a bad time. I didn't need to know how to get my ex back. I needed to know how to get me back, and if I would have had that earlier on, I think things would have been a lot easier for me. I dig the face to face format. By the way, man. Figured the insightful voice had to be paired with such a man. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And I got Monkey Boy. Anyway, and guys, look, I'll be honest with you. The reason I've never done video on YouTube, I know I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm just fucking lazy. I'm so busy, and editing audio is a lot easier. So I don't know if I'm going to be going to face format with like the 10-minute videos I do. Maybe, I don't know. Like the lives, absolutely I can do that because I don't have to edit in it. Honestly, guys, YouTube is hard. I don't think you appreciate, to get people to click on YouTube stuff, you have to spend a lot of time coming up with a good thumbnail. you have to go through word research. You have to, okay, what's being searched right now? And you've got all these tools to help you out to see like what the percentages are of these words being searched. Are people clicking on it? You've got to write a description, and then you've got to write the content. Oh man, it can be a lot. Okay. Facebook user. Okay, what are your thoughts on watching self-improvement videos? Okay, I've answered that already. Eva, hello. Another Facebook disciple of mine. Eva, I was ghosted when he came back wanting to try again. I said no. How important is it to have a conversation about the events that led him to make that choice and what happened to resolve closure, to resolve closure, growth moving forward? Or should it be just a goodbye and move on? Am I right that ghosting is unforgivable even though he regrets it and it wants to try again? Oh, guys, I've been doing. Look, I'm just gonna run to the toilet because I need to pee. So I'm just gonna mute. Okay, for 1 second. I'll be okay, literally be 2 minutes. Okay, I'm nice and empty. Ah, that was glorious. I'm oversharing. Anyway, okay. So is ghosting unforgivable? I think I can only speak from my personal point of view on that. I don't. Is it unforgivable? I think if someone comes back and says, "Look, I'm sorry, I acted like a dick. I was just scared. I didn't know how to express myself correctly." I think that can be forgiven one time. If they do it again, then it's like, well, look, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, yeah. Um, as for getting closure and everything, it depends where you are, Eva. If you really feel, like, if he wants to try again and you want to try again, then there's got to be an element of forgiveness from both of you. There's got to be an element of both. Okay, look, this is my 50%. I'm putting this 50% in. What 50% are you putting in? Okay, and here's a lesson for everybody. Don't ever put 100% into a relationship. It's physically impossible. You're meant to put 50% in, and your partner puts the other 50 in. That gives you 100%. Now you can give 100% effort to your 50%, but that 50% that is left over is for you. It is for your identity. It is for your personal project. It is for your personal life, your career. Yeah, you have to have that. Otherwise, you've got nothing, and you become codependent. So look, it depends where you are. Either if you want to reconcile, if that's really what you want, then yeah, you're going to have to forgive him. And look, forgiveness doesn't justify their action. Okay, it doesn't justify it. What forgiveness does, it stops, it releases the hold that your ex has over you. It neutralizes that effect. Okay, when you forgive someone, they have no more power over you. Yeah, sitting there getting pissed off about it, they're living rent free right here. Okay, why give anyone that power over you? So don't do it. Anyway, so look, it's going to be a personal decision, Eva. I can only advise you with the possible routes, the possible alternatives. Okay, so option number one, you accept his apology, you sit down, you have a chat with him. Okay, maybe go for a coffee, something like that. Go for a walk. Nothing crazy. Don't go back to your place. Don't go back to his place. And be radical honesty. You've got to be brutally honest. If a reconciliation is going to work, you've got to have brutal fucking honesty and say, no, yeah, that hurt and that pissed me off. But at the same time, you've got to allow him to be brutally honest about the shit that you got wrong as well. Because trust me, my friend, most people, we like to blame the other person, but it takes two people to get together. It takes two people to break up. Hope that helps. Okay, yes, I'm going out for walks. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Okay, Teresa. Sorry, Teresa. Walks in gym. Yeah, walks in gym are always good. Never a bad thing. Okay, Clorox. Absolutely agree. Can't do the work if you don't actually implement. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so guys, I've posted here one-to-one breakup coaching link. If you need my help with your one-to-one situation, you click that, you copy and paste that link. That's in the description, or you go to any of my last 10 videos, because I've only just started using Linktree. Go to any of my last 10 videos. That link will be there. Tap that link. It'll go to my one-to-one coaching. You book yourself in. You get an automated email, and then I will see you on the call. Okay. Teresa, thank you for your advice, Nick. My pleasure. I hope it helped. D, thanks. No problem. You are welcome. Yeah. It'd be great if we can work together. Okay, Alexandros. Hello, my friend. In no contact for 3 months since the breakup, and I don't even want her back. What I have trouble dealing with is the inconsistency between what she projected and how she acted. Major disappointment. Okay, can you give me a bit more context? What specifically are you stuck on? What I can say, do you get mad at a lion for being a lion? No, but a lion has to be vicious to survive. It has to kill for its dinner. But we don't get mad at it. The reason we don't get mad at the lion is because that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the beast of your ex. And here's the thing, guys, and this pisses a lot of people off, so strap in. If you, me, or any man and their dog and any cat and their woman, any woman and their cat had the same experience as your ex, had the same trauma, had the same worldview, we will be acting the same way. Yeah. We all project outward what we think the world should be, how we see the world. Okay. Now, the trick is to show true intelligence and true awareness is to step back and explore the world from their point of view without abandoning your views. That's when you're showing true intelligence. And that does help you get over a breakup. Facebook user, is this still live? Yes, it is. But you need to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, as it says at the bottom, so I can see who you are. Any tips on dealing with this? Yeah, so going back to your comment, yeah, my friend, look, it's your ex said what they said, they did what they did, they are who they are. Okay. That's the truth of the situation. And look, what I'm writing about in my breakup recovery book, it's called Breaking Up with Your Breakup. And the reason it's called that is because we form an entitled narcissistic relationship with the breakup. It becomes all we can think about. Okay. And a big part of the book, and actually one of the chapters says the breakup isn't about you. Is it? I think yeah. The breakup isn't about you, but it is your responsibility. In other words, your ex feels how they feel. They acted the way they acted. You have no control over that. It is not for you to figure out. It's an exercise in futility. Okay, it's not for you to figure out. It's much better to say they are who they are. Okay, and it sucked. Yes, it sucked balls, but I get to decide the outcome to that. I get to decide, well, rather, I get to decide how I respond to that. Okay, hope that helps. Okay, Luke, whatever your name is. Yeah, I'm just gonna call you Luke. So good to see your face, Nick. You have got me through the last 5 months, and I appreciate you so much. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I hope the face isn't a disappointment. I can only imagine what you guys must have been thinking. Okay, I wonder what it looks like. But to be fair, my Facebook group, like I said, there's 25,000 people in it. They've known what I've looked like for 2 years. You know, so it's not like I'm hiding. It's just YouTube's is just a bit of a funny space for me. Facebook user situationship versus electric chemistry. Probably the same thing. Both bullshit. Both going to end the same way. Alexandros, she brought a lot of difficulties inside the relationship, but she made me believe we are going to be each other's life partner and bailed after 10 months. None of all this helped me to say the least. Okay, man. All right. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Now, I wrote an article the other day, or a post in my Facebook group, and it said, you're not responsible for the first red flag someone shows you, okay? But you are responsible for the second red flag, as in if you ignore the second red flag, okay? Now, if I was doing a one-to-one coaching session with you, the first thing I would do is validate what you said. It's like, yeah, that's fucking shit. Yeah, she said all these things and she didn't deliver. All right, okay, absolutely, man. That's on her. That wasn't your fault. You didn't ask for it. But nonetheless, you did buy what she was selling. You accepted it. Okay. So we have to ask, okay, what about your screening process is letting you down? What about you is attracted to a woman like that? That's the real fight. The real fight isn't about what your ex did. The real fight's about what's going on inside here. Yeah? That's the real fight. The real fight is what's happening inside here and what's happening up here. Okay? That's where we've got to get to. That total self-awareness of saying, okay, why am I attracted to such toxic bullshit? And I've been there. I'm not saying my ex was toxic per se, but I was hopelessly attracted to avoidant women because that was my first blueprint of love growing up as a child. And that's what we're attracted to. So now it's a case that readjusting that is really hard. And that takes, maybe that takes therapy, man. So I hope that helped. Okay. Another Facebook user, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook and authorize your account so I can see who you are. How do you invest in A versus B? Okay, well, what is A and what is B? Can you give me some more clarification on that, please? Mr. OK, are you okay? Bad joke. My wife says she wants to have freedom. What does that mean? She didn't say anything about breaking up or divorce. I don't know. That can mean a lot of things. But if I was to put my interpretation on that, I would say maybe the relationship is maybe feeling a bit suffocating towards her. Maybe there's not enough excitement in the relationship. And I think that is a big thing in relationships now because I highly recommend a really good book, you guys. Mating in Captivity by Esther Perel. Okay, and Esther Perel was like the godmother of relationships. And she's fucking amazing. And there's a big part of that book where basically the premise is the very thing we seek in a relationship. So the safety component, the intimacy, the safety is the very thing that breaks it up, because we stop being adventurous, we stop being exciting. So for me, what that could mean, it could mean a few things. It could mean that she wants a bit more excitement, or it could mean that maybe you're overbearing, you're dominating the relationship too much, you're controlling. I don't know, unless you tell me more about the relationship and you're radically honest about it. I don't know. But you said she hasn't mentioned breaking up or divorce. So I'm assuming you guys are still together. I would sit down and ask her what she means. I would look. So this is where it gets really scary. If my girlfriend said that to me right now, I'd be like, right, okay, we're sitting down right now and we're discussing this. Okay, I'm all ears, and I would shut up. I would shut up for get some shit on the screen there. I would shut up and just let her talk, and I'll just say okay. And at the end of it, I'll just say okay, look, thank you for sharing. That must have been hard for you to share. So you validate. Okay, that must have been hard for you to share, and I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. I'm sorry that I'm not doing what I'm meant to be doing as a partner. Okay. And then I would try to ask some questions about how she's feeling, and then try to make her feel safe. And then if she's saying, "Oh, look, we're not going out enough," or we used to climb mountains and we're not doing that anymore," that'd be the first thing I do. Right, okay, that's where we're going right now. We're going to go and book a. Well, that's still on. Yeah, we're going to go and do that right now. But without knowing more about your situation, man, I don't know. Facebook user, do group members need to do that authorized profile thing? Yes, please, because all it says here is Facebook user. I can't see who you are. It's one click. It's basically, if you do it the one time, with my channel, it'll be forever. You won't have to ever do it again. Okay, Pot to Depper. I appreciate the answer. I think the confusing part for me is trying to process the relationship we had and what she ended up doing after everything. Well, look, the relationship you had and what she did after that have nothing. They're two separate entities that don't have anything to do with each other. So look at it like you've been in the same job for 5 years, and it's like, okay, well, this job is no more. It's not a challenge for me anymore. And you go to your boss, say, hey, look, I'd like to move to a different department, or I'd like to get a promotion, or I'd like to go and do this training course, and they say no. Okay, and then you leave and you move on. One has nothing to do with the other. You've left that because it no longer suits you, and now you're moving on to other things. What she did after that is irrelevant. That's who she is. Okay, and we get so tied up in trying to understand somebody else's actions. You're not required to. You're required to understand you, and that's it. Okay, Lucy, how are you? Another client of mine. Okay, situationship versus electric chemistry. How do you invest in A versus B? I won't invest in either one of them. They're both bullshit. Um, I would invest. I would invest in. Well, first of all, I'd invest in me. I'd be asking myself, why do I need a situationship, or why do I need electric chemistry? Why do I need someone to set my nervous system on fire so I feel like this is love? Why do I need someone to to put me at 1 billion% anxiety before I think we've got a connection? That's the real question. Yeah. Why do I need someone to make me feel like I'm going to explode on the inside for it to be love? That's not love. It's trauma. Don't invest in it. They're both bad choices. Don't invest in either one. Dick, she left me for someone else, and that was within 2 days or so. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's fucking savage. Do you want to expand on that so I can dig a little bit deeper into it? Christian, love this live. Thank you. No, my pleasure. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Alexandros, sorry. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. My pleasure. Okay. Nugget Sniffer. Oh, I love that name. Nugget. Love it. Hey, Nick. Sorry. Oh, man. I've got the sense of humor of a 5-year-old. Hey Nick, appreciate the session yesterday. It's Noor. Oh, hey buddy. Great seeing you doing your first live. Hoping many more to come in. Yeah, first one on YouTube, but I've done about 50 in the Facebook group. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, man. It's been yeah, your sessions have been a little bit intense, I would say. But yeah, give yourself some time, reflect on what we discussed. Look, you're doing okay, man. You're doing okay. Look, I think we had a very productive session, and yeah, man, look forward to the next one whenever you want to book it. Okay, after my breakup, he moved on to someone else right after. Almost 3 years later, they are married. I always hoped it was just a rebound to fail, but sometimes it is the way it goes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and that is the way it goes, and I'm sorry you've had to experience that. But may I ask if where are you in the breakup? Because I think after 3 years now, look, I'm not trying to diminish how you feel. I'm not trying to say that you should be over this. I'm not trying to say that at all. Okay. But I would hope for everybody after 3 years, you'll be moving on to more self improvement content rather than breakup content. And it's something I'm trying to do more on the channel. I'm trying to present more self improvement content, but with YouTube's fickle, you get caught between a rock and a hard place between making content people are actually going to click on and actual content you want to write. And it's really tough. So I would ask you, where are you with that? Nick, good to see you, buddy, and thanks for the coaching help last week. No problem, buddy. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Yeah, let me know how you're doing, man. Alexandros, absolutely true. And I'm doing the work, Nick. I know that I gave the benefit of the doubt because I wanted to believe what she was saying. Thanks for the again. Yeah, man. Look, I think we all want to believe what they're saying, but if it walks like a duck, smells like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it's a chicken. I mean, it's a duck, And look, it's down to us, man. We have to believe what's going on. Teresa, what I struggle with more than anything else, the thought of them going with someone else. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. That's rough, but you'll get there one day where you'll be going with someone else and you'll be finding someone better. Yeah, better than your ex because they would have taught you the lessons of what you needed to learn. Okay, so yeah, but I get it. It's rough, and that's a nasty thought because you had a connection, you had intimacy, and you wanted, and you was exclusive to that person, and you wanted to have them to yourselves. And but that chapter of your book is now done, okay, and it ended in a bad way, but it's one chapter of your book, okay. Doesn't mean the next chapter can't be good. The next chapter might start off shit, but it can only get better from there. So keep writing your book. And look, I'll give you look I've actually spent 2 years writing a book, and writing a book is hard work. It is really, really hard work. And the best advice someone gave me is just keep writing your shitty words. And what that means is like even when you've got nothing to write, just write your shitty words. Just like do 200 really bad words a day, and then you can then take those words and then strip it down, rearrange them, rewrite it or whatever. But just write. So in other words, to convert that into a breakup, just keep moving forward. Okay, CP. My ex was in a relationship as soon as we broke up. 3 years later, and they are married. I had hoped it was just okay. I've read that one already. Okay, Rebecca, how are you doing? Question: I'm working on the breakup part, just stuck on the way they ended it. I feel traumatized by it and having trouble moving forward. Yeah. So look, let me let me put it this way. Let's say you walk outside your house right now and someone mugs you. Okay, they don't hurt you. They just take your purse and your bag. Wasn't your fault. You didn't ask for it, but nonetheless, it's traumatic. It's now your responsibility to heal that trauma. So it's not uh, it's less about what they did and the way they did it. It's more about okay, what do I do now? How do I process this? How do I move on? Your ex, they are who they are. Okay. And if you can sit back and say, right, okay, that's who they are. That's what they did. They did what they did. They said what they said. And They showed you exactly who they are, and then you can say, well, thank you for showing me exactly who you are, because now I don't have to marry you. All right, guys, I'm going to do another few minutes and then I'm going to go, because it's been nearly 2 hours and it's coming up to 10 p.m. here. And I've been on the go since 5 a.m. this morning and I am getting a little bit tired. All right. CP, I have realized many compatibilities I had with him. Our relationship would have never worked out, but it was hurtful being replaced so fast. I felt as though I wasn't good enough for a long time. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But it's not about you. Him replacing you so fast isn't about you, it's about him. Okay. And this is why I've written my book about this very thing, is that don't make it about you, because when we get dumped or when we get replaced, we very quickly have an entitled mindset and we have a very narcissistic mindset. No, I'm not saying you are an entitled person and I'm not calling you a narcissist. What I'm saying, our defense mechanisms make us give us an entitled mindset and gives us a narcissistic mindset. Okay, and it's a natural human defense mechanism. Okay, but his actions are not about you, they are about him, they're about his traumas and how he's responding to the breakup. Yeah, so let him have it. Let him have it. You are responding by taking the pain now, by leveling up so you can be better tomorrow. He'll come around eventually. It'll come around eventually. He'll get his one day. Don't worry about it. But regardless, wish him well. Yeah, you wanna move on and forgive someone. Wish them well. Say, okay, I wish you Godspeed. D. We met on the internet. We talked every day for 6 months, then met up together for 4 months, and then she left me for someone else. We had our ups and downs, but yeah, I'm from Germany. She's 17. I'm 26. Dude, what are you doing dating a 17-year-old? I'm just gonna call you out on that. Why are you dating a 17-year-old? You're a grown ass man. Um, I don't mean to sound bad here, but how is someone at 17 going to be able to have a healthy, fulfilling relationship with you? That is not going to happen. Okay. So my advice, my friend, and I don't want to take this away from you. Look, I know it's painful. And I know I was harsh there, and I say it compassionately. I'm not saying it to be. I'm not saying it to be a dick. I'm not saying it in a judgmental way. I'm saying look at your choice of women. Okay, so you've met online, you've talked for 6 months. Okay, so that is not compatibility, that is chemistry. Okay, that is mistaking highs for happiness. Okay, real relationships is getting to know someone in person. And I generally believe, and unfortunately, your generation is the first generation raised by it. The more time we spend online, the more disconnected we become as human beings. Okay, because we're not experiencing that friction. There's no friction over a screen. Yeah, there's no bad habits over a screen. There's no, looking at their facial expressions or looking at their body language, the smell, the sound, the taste. There's none of that. Yeah, and then you meet up, and it's like, oh well, this isn't as good as I thought it would be. Okay, so that's the mistake, my friend. Don't try not to do it again. Try to get out into the real world. I know it's scary. And look, you're talking to a natural introvert. Yeah, I go out quite regularly, but it drains my batteries, and like my social capacity is about this big, right? But you have to get out there and speak to people, my friend. Okay, and yeah, look, date someone closer to your own age. Date someone somewhere between 24 and 28, maybe. That's more your range. Yeah. People's brains only fully develop when they're 25. Okay. She's still developing. There was no way this was going to work. Okay, Christian. Hi, Nick. How many one-to-one sessions do people usually need to get a sense of balance? Uh, one and done, two, four, five, or more. That's an interesting question. To be honest, I would say the average. I'd say the average with me is probably about three. And then you get quite a few people that only do one. And I think the people that only do one with me is maybe because they're not ready for the advice yet. That could be it. Or some people are just like, cool, no, I know which direction to head for, and I'm okay. But I'll have people that would have done a session with me a year ago and then book one now, and literally that happens quite a lot. And yeah, but there's a young man on here just popped up. I've done 2 sessions with him this week already, and he wants to book another one in a couple of weeks. So it depends. I think it depends on the person. I would say so look, the way I do the coaching sessions is so like I've got a 60-minute session and a 90-minute session. Actually, a lot of people are booking more than 90-minute session now. So for the first half of the conversation, what I do, I just let them talk. I just let, well, okay, look, I'm just listening. I'm in the background taking notes, and I'm like, I'm preparing questions to ask, when they finish talking. Okay, I just listen. They tell me their story. They just get it all off their chest, and that's a big part of the coaching process, is just getting it all out and getting, I'm just so glad I told someone who is just listening to me. And then there's the validation part. Okay, all right, that fucking sucks. So let's explore that. Let's see why do you feel that way? Okay, and then we move on to, okay, what can we do? What's the responsibility part? The responsibility part is, okay, what can I do today to help me feel better tomorrow? Okay, so some people, like, the situation isn't that complicated, and we can get into that pretty quick. Some people might talk for almost an hour sometimes, and I have to interrupt them and say, hey, look, you've been talking for 45 minutes. I need to say something now. And they'll book another session. So it's highly variable, but I'd say the average is probably 3 sessions. Um, okay, Nugget Sniffer. I know this question is vague, but what does it mean when they initiate the breakup over text or rather than in person? It just means they're probably not comfortable doing it face to face. A lot of people say it's cowardly. Look, I don't say it's cowardly. If that, look, some people, look, we're now people. Well, the generation behind me, they're a generation raised by their phones. So look, I don't get mad at it. I'm like, okay, would I prefer a face to face conversation? It just means they're probably not very good with social situations. Deke, thanks, man. Yeah, look, man. Look, I know I was rough on you there, man, but look, it's just I say it with love and compassion. Everything I do is with love and compassion, so you can have better relationships in the future. All right, okay, my friends, CP, thank you. Now I'm gonna call that a night. Listen, look, YouTube crew, thank you so much for joining on this first one. It's been a pleasure. I hope to do more in the future. Let me know the feedback. Let me know what worked, what didn't work, what you liked. What do you want me to talk about in the future? What kind of content do you want to see from me? Facebook group, same thing, but you guys are familiar with the format now, so thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I hope I can do more of this in the future. But I need sleep now. I really need a lot of sleep. So yeah. Anyway, guys, so thank you. Um, yeah, it's been good. It's been fun. I hope you all feel better. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, and be kind to yourself. Learn to love yourself. I'll see you on the other side.